So how much is it actually costing us to actually breed and do what we all do? This is a big question and something that we really don't consider on the front side of things before we get deep into it and oftentimes over our head. So in this video, it's going to be very short, concise, abbreviated to the point, giving you some general information on what you need to consider as you continue to move forward if you want to dive deeper into the ball python hobby or if you want to kind of stay where you are. So let's dig in. Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Exotic Creations, coming to you guys with another video. We down here in the vault, we're doing some cleaning, doing our thing down here, but we got to stay consistent with our content. So we are bringing you this video to talk a little bit as far as when it comes to spending that hard-earned cash, that dollar. And shout out to the homie Ballhead Balls. You know, he definitely doing his thing. We understand how hard it is to get your content going, your social media, your branding. We talk a lot about that throughout all the videos. So go over to Ballhead Balls, give him a follow, give him a subscribe. He's doing the best he can. He's really coming with the content. Consistency is key. If you, I know a lot of the time people say, you know, if you treat it like a job, you won't enjoy it, but we actually enjoy it. But we do treat it as a job. It's things that you have to get done no matter what. We create a checklist, and now that we're rolling now, going into year 3, it does get easier, honestly, because we respect our business in that manner. And when we first got started, it was really rough, saying, oh, what are we going to talk about? Well, you know, we're going to talk about ourselves, you know, being our goofy selves and put it on camera. Then once you start etching out kind of schedule on when you want to sit down and create ideas, what you want to kind of elaborate on, you get together an entire list, and then that list gets longer and longer. Your brand starts to grow. You get special requests or questions that come in, slide into your DMs. Then you want to address that, add that to the list, and next thing you know, you got 2-3 pages of videos that you haven't recorded yet, and you don't have to really worry about what your content is going to be about. So say all that, didn't want to make a whole video about that, but say all that to say, stay the course. Content creating is the way to go. You have to do it. You have to do it at this stage. You have to do it at this area that we're in, this niche, and where the entire hobby is going. Back to the regular scheduled programming. So when you're picking up these ball pythons, it doesn't matter whether you're a business, whether you're an enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever it may be, there's costs that you need to consider. We're going to dumb it down for us, for our sake, for the simplest things on bedding and rodents, meaning feed and rodents. Now, if you start earlier stages, there's a lot of people that we see started off even better than what we started off. They started off breeding rodents and, you know, having a smaller collection right out the gate. And that honestly would be the way to go. That's definitely the preferred route if you're seeking to do it even just as a hobby or enjoyment or as a business. Both ways have their benefits. Now, breeding rodents is not easy work. Audra loves it, which is, again, that's awesome for me. But breeding rodents is the way to go if you want to save your money, you want to kind of have whatever sizes you may need or to feed your collection, because a lot of times you're going to go to the pet store or to your rodent breeder, and maybe they don't have, you know, the quantity you need, or maybe they don't have the sizes you need. Those are going to be some big issues, especially if they're a rodent supplier to multiple breeders, if they're you know, a business themselves. Unfortunately, and you know, unfortunately for yourselves, they're supplying multiple different breeders. How do they set a hierarchy on who they're going to provide, first come, first serve, and so forth, according to your schedule? There's so many different things to consider. So breeding rodents will be number one, kind of the way to get started and going. Now, also you want to know what projects you want to work in, and really keep it concise, because you can get in over your head really, really fast. Now, reason I say that, you can start the double recessive, triple recessive, your supers, your allelic projects, and there's so many different areas you can branch off in doing these different projects. But again, I don't want to go off on that tangent and start talking about specific projects. We want to really dumb this down to the dollar cost in almost a lump sum type of situation. So let's go the route we started. We breed some rodents, pretty much for our hatchlings, a little bit for our grow outs when we get them to wean size or when we're low on inventory like we are now. But normally we're right around $2 a small. We're around $2 a small. You can get, I guess, $2.75, $3 a medium, but we never really get mediums. We only get smalls. And again, that's to feed all of our breeders and some of our grow outs that's getting to size. Now, that's an awesome price for us. We wrote that into our budget. We worked all that stuff out, but this is something that you need to look at at the very beginning. So when you buy that $100 snake, that $40 snake, or you get that free snake, whatever it may be, you have to consider there's still going to be associated costs that come along with that. Even if you get that $1,000 snake, that $5,000 snake, all of these snakes are going to have the same exact associated costs. So again, it doesn't matter how expensive your snake may be, or if your snake was free, you're still going to have these associated costs, as well as bedding, whether you're going to do liners, whether you're going to do paper towel, whether you're going to do cocoa, whether you're going to do cypress. You have to consider all these things, as well as your sources on where you're going to get these supplies from, as well as where you're going to get your rodents from. And then let's go for the grand scheme of things on a yearly basis, what it's going to cost you as you continue to dive deep into this hobby that we all love. So if you have one snake, again, it doesn't matter the project. Don't want to make this a high-end versus a budget. It's irrelevant because the costs are going to be all pretty much the same. It's how you're going to regulate it and how you're going to absorb it into your business or your hobby. Or again, it's a hobby. You're expected to spend some of the money that you earn from your hard day's work on your hobbies. We do it in life, period, through the course of time. So if buying yourself a rack, enclosures, whatever it may be, if that's what's going to bring you enjoyment, do that. That's what you need to do. I mean, we're here to make money. You can't take it with you when you pass away, but you want to do it as smart as you can, or at least see the long term or the long game of what you have in front of you so you can plan accordingly. That's what videos like this is for. So let's push that up on rodent costs. Let's say your rodent costs per rodent is going to be $3. So that's high. So let's say $3 is what you're going to be paying out of pocket per rodent. And obviously it's 52 weeks in a year. Your snake is not going to eat every single week. So we're still going to keep that high. Let's go for 50 because that's a round number. So 50 obviously times 3, that's $150. That is going to cost you every single year just to feed your free ball python or your $5,000 ball python. It doesn't matter. It's going to cost you $150 a year to feed that ball python if you're not producing your own rodents. Now, let's boost that up a little bit. Now with your cocoa, you can have cocoa, cypress, liners. All these things are going to come with some type of cost associated, and there's going to come some type of quality of life for yourself as well. Paper towels, paper towels all these products are going to be good to be used, but the thing about them is what's your best application for them. If you're going to be using liners and paper towel, they're going to be absorbent, but they aren't going to help with the smell or anything like that. But again, if you only have a few ball pythons, there's really not much smell that you're going to have to deal with. The issue comes when you're, maybe a one-man army on one particular day and you have 50 ball pythons. You're not going to get them to go to the bathroom all at the same time. you're not going to get them to shed all at the same time. There's going to be different scheduling and different things you're going to have to monitor. And sometimes you may miss them going to the bathroom for a day, 2 days. And then you have to go in and obviously deal with that issue. So if you use some of the paper products like paper towel, or even liners, you may have to deal with some of the smell. Again, we haven't done paper towel or any of the paper products. So again, I'm talking from the outside without actual hands-on experience. I do believe it's an awesome product, or they wouldn't offer it and make it available for us all to purchase. Cocoa, we use cocoa. It can be expensive, even when you buy by the pallet. And now we're on Cypress, and we love Cypress because for us it's the same. It's better than cocoa because it doesn't dye your snakes and all of that stuff. And it's extremely cost effective. So bedding wise, let's say again, you don't really have all these resources close to you. Let's just round it off to a nice round number. And let's say $2, okay? Let's say $2 a week. That's expensive. It really, really is. But let's say $2. You can get a roll of paper towels every single week for $2, easy. So $2, that makes their price a total of $5. $5 is what it's costing you to feed and provide bedding. And let's just throw in even homemade enclosure, everything for that ball python for the entire year. So again, 5 times 50, you're right there at $250 for the year. And as the years come, you're going to continue to kind of snowball and keep, rolling on with that. But per snake, that's what you're going to end up paying. So you need to understand that no matter if someone is giving you a project, they're giving you a snake, or they're giving you a snake for free, maybe you bought one, buy one, get one, whatever it may be, just understand that you're still going to have these same parameters in providing housing and food to every ball python that you decide to keep in your collection. So videos like this is important because if you come across this video, you needed some assistance in your guidance on how many that you wanted to kind of keep in your collection, or what your growth or how you want to scale, then these are some of the numbers that you can easily kind of throw out there in your head and kind of do the math. If you're sitting there with 5 snakes and all right, cool, 5 snakes and that's $250 a snake. All right, cool. We're right there at $1,250. But if you have 5 snakes and your game plan is in 5 years to be at 50 because you're going to expand into different detailed projects that you already kind of wrote down a plan and everything to be at, now is the time to kind of look at, at 50 snakes, wow, like how do I figure out if I have 50, which is 10 times more than what you currently have at 5, and you're already paying $1,250, then that means that you're going to be paying $12,500 at that particular time when you hit 50. Now, for a lot of people, those numbers tend to scare you. We have over 300 snakes ourselves, and we still pay out of pocket for bedding. We still pay out of pocket for feeders, the whole 9 yards. But none of those numbers really scare us because we wrote it down in a detailed business plan, which is what we're trying to urge you guys to do, and hopefully support your own hobby or your business journey as you continue to kind of go down that path and gain this experience. So we want you to subscribe here. We would love for you to comment down below. We would love to follow your journey. We watch and follow everyone. We are literally students of the game, and we love what we're doing. But that being said, we also can't do it all by ourselves, and we're never claimed to be. We want to be the glue that keeps everyone kind of stuck together, bringing everyone together, because guess what? It doesn't benefit us for a new person to get into the industry, start breeding, and get overwhelmed and get out. We want those new people to get into the industry, stay in the industry, become a staple in the community, and bring other friends and people who love these animals like we do into the industry. That benefits us. So that's the message we really want to put out there, that when you start thinking and planning, the numbers that you're writing down, and go old school, go pen to paper, write it down in detail, it's going to feel quite overwhelming. It really, really is. But the grand scheme of things is, you can't keep everything you're going to produce. There's no way you're going to keep everything that you produce. So make sure you have a plan in how you're going to move things out, how you're going to sell things, how you're going to determine what you're going to keep to move your projects forward, and what you're producing that is not moving your projects forward. That's personally why, you know, here at Flawless, we don't, again, as disclaimers, this is just us. We don't believe in doing just a pairing that's going to produce some babies that's going to have stuff for sale. We're very, very niche, boutique style breeding where, yes, at some point we will be vending. Yes, we're going to sell snakes online. But at the end of the day, we need to worry about what we want to produce for ourselves first. And when we miss, because Lord knows we're going to miss and miss a lot, then those byproduct of our projects, of our journey, is what we'll end up making available. And byproduct is not a bad thing because, again, like Levant says, everybody is not trying to take the same girl to the prom. There may be byproduct that we produce, all right, that may be a perfect fit for your specific project that's going in a completely different direction than where we're heading. So everyone collectively, there's so many different genes, so many different combinations, so many projects that we could all really be successful if we know what's in front of us and we're not kind of being surprised or taken off guard. So the numbers can get extremely overwhelming when you get this big budget on how much you're going to be spending across the entire year. But overall, if you already see it coming and you know what to expect, you can make better, calculated, educated decisions. So again, work on your infrastructure, work on your planning, whether you're a hobbyist, enthusiast, or your actual breeder. It will literally make everything come together a lot better in the end game, and you will have better focus on what's your goal, on where you want to be, and where you're heading. But anyway, it's Will. Flawless Exotic Creations. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Budget, budget, budget. Don't get overwhelmed at all. We are all in this thing together, and we are out.